Eric Bieniemy being rehired, it looks like, as the offensive coordinator for the Kansas City Chiefs. I actually love this. I
Hmm.
think that Eric coming back to KC will be more comfortable. Like, hey, man, I'm just OC. This is who I
Hmm.
am here in Kansas City. I got a relationship with Andy and Patrick Mahomes. I can come in here and crack the whip and hold these guys accountable. Let Andy continue to be the nice guy that Andy loves to be and just draw up plays. I think this is a win-win for Eric and a win-win for the Chiefs.
I agree with you. I think it's the perfect thing. I think their time apart has probably created a greater affinity for both parties. Not only Andy, but I think maybe the organization has a better feel for what Eric Bieniemy did when he was the offensive coordinator previously. When we talk about Andy Reid and his strengths as a play caller, he is that. But as you know, there has to be diversity on your staff in terms of good cop, bad cop. And for the things that Andy Reid is, he probably leans more to the good cop. Eric is better served to be the bad cop to hold everyone accountable. I thought it was telling when he was released, I think maybe from the Commanders, and he helped out with them in their Super Bowl preparation before they played the Baltimore Ravens in the AFC Championship game. And Patrick Mahomes talked about how they missed that. There was something that has obviously been missing from the Chiefs the last few years. And whether or not Eric Bieniemy is the best tactician or play caller or those things, doesn't matter. His presence provides something that was lacking in that locker room in terms of accountability, in terms of discipline and detailed or whatever is needed there. Also, the elusive thing that has gotten away from Eric Bieniemy has been the head coaching job. His best opportunity to probably land a head coaching job would be from within in Kansas City because there would be enough people that could advocate for him, i.e., Patrick Mahomes, if and when Andy Reid decides to walk away, he's probably better served to get that job than any other. Because we've seen the circuit, right? You can only interview 11, 12 times and be told no. You're not going to get it that way. So it's going to have to be an internal hire. And if it's not that, it reminds me of Sherm Lewis. Sherm Lewis was a longtime offensive coordinator in the league, longtime offensive coordinator for Mike Holmgren in Green Bay, and those things. And it was always that conversation about Sherm Lewis getting a head job, and it never materialized. But man, he went down as one of the best offensive coordinators in ball because he eventually had to be okay with this is going to be my role. And I think sometimes, man, roles are there for a reason. And Eric Bieniemy may have an opportunity to be a head coach, but his role may just be to be a great Super Bowl champion offensive coordinator where he's at.
The other thing we have to recognize, Bucky, is it's not the 1990s. It's not back when you were playing. It's
Hmm.
2025, and the coordinator can make three, four, five, $6 million a year
Hmm.
and draw up plays or handle his side of the football and do all that, but not have to deal with everything the head coach does. It's a great living. And you look at, like, right now, no one's talking about Spagnola with any of these head coaching jobs. He's
Mm-mm.
a defensive coordinator, very well respected. I'm sure they're paying him anywhere from $3 to $5 million a year. I'm sure they're willing to do the exact same thing for Eric
Yep.
Bieniemy, and it's a great life. And you're involved with ball. You're winning championships. I think, having been someone that was like, hey man, y'all making too much about Eric Bieniemy being a head coach.
Hmm.
It's not who
Yeah.
he is. As an offensive coordinator for Andy Reid, ideal. And like you said, I think if he's going to get a head coaching job, it would be from within the Chiefs organization. This is a win for everybody involved. Hopefully, this will turn out well. You already referenced Kirk Signetti and what an amazing job his staff does. I think Indiana, whether it's the all-time great team, would say no. I do think Kirk Signetti has pulled off the greatest coaching job in the
Hmm.
history of college football. And I part of me translating this to the NFL, If I'm the Buffalo Bills, and I've heard Kirk Signetti say I'm a college guy, but if I'm the Buffalo Bills, I make Kirk Signetti tell me no. I've got Josh Allen, and all-time great quarterback talent that can't get to the Super Bowl. I'm going to okay, who's the best coach I can get so I can maximize this Josh Allen deal? Okay, I'll pay Kirk Signetti $25 million a year to come fix my Josh Allen problem. I would make Kirk Signetti say no. Am I crazy?
I think you're a little crazy. I think the game is completely different. I think Kirk Signetti, one, given his age because he's in his 60s, two, having to learn the lay of the land when it comes to going from the college game to the pro game is different. And three, man, he is so good where he's at. Like, why would you want to do all the hard work to get Indiana up and going where now it's probably going to be a destination spot? We've seen they killed it in the portal in January, early January. They have more players. And so to win without a ton of 4 and 5 stars, now he will have a more talented roster at his disposal. I think this is just when the fun happens. He is a terrific coach. And I do believe when you're talking about Buffalo, they do need someone who is going to be a terrific, not only X and O's coach, but a culture builder. And Kirk Signetti might be one of those guys who's a rarity, who understands the X's and O's and the details and the CEO part of what it should look like on a daily basis. Yeah, maybe Josh Allen needs that, but Buffalo is a unique situation because I feel like they let go of a coach that was really good in Sean McDermott, and I think they're going to be hard pressed to find a guy that is a culture builder like him in this cycle.
Who should Buffalo hire? It's the best job in football. It's got a franchise quarterback, and now they're a little bit late. They've missed out on Harbaugh and Stefanski, and who is the right coach for Buffalo?
Man, I don't know because like here's the thing with Buffalo, and everyone in Buffalo was mad at me yesterday when I tweeted this. I was like, they will have a greater appreciation for what Sean McDermott did because this is a team that was devoid of uh, impact players outside of Josh Allen, James Cook, and Deion Dawkins. The rest of the roster was fine, but Sean McDermott did a great job of helping the defense overachieve, in my estimation, based on what they have. Now everyone is want will want to go all in on Josh Allen and build the things around him, but you still got to fix that defense. To me, I think it has to be someone who is systematic, a proven system. It has to be a guy like a Clint Kubiak, where we've seen the Shanahan system take average players and make them Pro Bowlers, and take Pro Bowlers and make them MVPs, like we saw the system do with Matt Ryan down in Atlanta. I think for Josh Allen, what you want to do is you want his game to elevate while lightening the load on him. As he gets older, we can't rely on him to be the athletic freak that he's been, to be the guy that's scoring 14 rushing touchdowns and doing those things. This has to be a system that allows him to play the game more from the pocket, allows him to operate at an efficient level while surrounding him with more talent. So it's not so much just a Josh Allen show.
Why not, if I'm Buffalo, why not go out and get the best defensive coordinator available and say, look, man, Josh Allen's going to score points because he's Josh Allen. I want to see if I can elevate my defense even more. And I know McDermott was doing that, but why wouldn't Jesse Minter or Brian Flores be, the great options for Buffalo?
Because I think the noise from our side, the media side, Jason, has a lot of impact and influence. And even though front office people will deny that, they hear the noise, and owners in particular hear the noise. And so, what you even said in referencing Josh Allen, hey, best job available, generational quarterback, super talented, whatever. So, naturally, that makes the hiring crew think, I need to get someone that can take his game to another level. We're wasting his prime. And so, you tend to go opposite of what you had. They just had a defensive coach. They just had a culture builder who was a terrific X and O's guy on defense. Naturally, the pendulum swings the other way. They're gonna try and get an offensive guy. We've heard names like Brian Daboll being banted around. They talked about elevating Joe Brady. You talked about Clint Kubiak or one of the other guys. But I'm gonna tell you right now, in this cycle, there's not a lot of offensive guys. The offensive side of the tree has been picked apart because the last few hiring cycles have been all the sexy names on the offensive side of the ball are gone. It's going to be interesting to see who they hire because they're going to be hard pressed to find a coach that is better than the coach that walked out the door. Someone who in 9 years went to 8 playoffs, had a ridiculous one-loss percentage, won 5 straight division titles. I mean, you're talking about a guy that has to be a home run hire that can win a Super Bowl. And I know people keep talking about like, hey, it might be the Andy Reid thing in Philadelphia. It might be, but then Nick Sirianni, after winning the Super Bowl, has had a lot of turmoil and discord and stuff within the building. So this is going to be a fascinating hire for Brandon Beane to have to make.
I'll argue the other side why maybe they should go with an offensive coach, like you said, is if I'm Buffalo, I'm like, hey man, Josh Allen right before halftime did one of the dumbest things in the history of football, and I need a coach that can get that dumbness out of him, because that has been, he just takes way too many risks. And we don't want to undermine his gambler nature because it makes him great, but he can't be retarded. And that scramble before halftime is, he needs a head coach that he's partnered with who can get that out of him. Help us grow the Fearless Army. Pound that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share this video with all your fearless friends.